Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fucking Heel Hook Show, episode number 46, with your boy Ash and your boy Eddie. We're here to kill all y'all motherfuckers.
You're way more positive about everything than I am. I'm just like, all right. I'm just beat this shit right now. Like, fucking long ass day, bro.
I feel your pain. I just look at it like this. At the end of the day, I'd much rather be doing this than other things.
Oh, so for sure.
Fuck it. Like, I might as well enjoy everything that I do rather than worry about the stuff that I don't enjoy, e.g., like jobs. But it pains me to say that we are going to see my two current favorite fighters, well, female fighters especially. Rose Namajunas is officially going to be challenging Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the women's strawweight title in Madison Square Garden, UFC 217, November 4th.
Man, do you want to pick this fight?
I don't know.
You even pick this fight?
You know what, right? The only reason I'm going to do this, and this is, I think a lot of people will be happy for me saying this, I think the main reason I'm going to pick this person is because if they are to win, then this puts them on the brink of a legacy. If Joanna beats Rose, then Joanna will tie Ronda Rousey's record for amount of defenses for women's titles in the UFC. Now, with that said, it means she has to fight somebody else afterwards to surpass it. But it'd be nice because I think Joanna's slowly been creeping in the background.
Okay. If she beats Rose and then she breaks the record, right? How many is that in a row as far as wins go?
I'm not sure. Wouldn't it be...
Let me pull it up real quick.
I think it's either 6 or 7, I want to say.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because I know that as far as streaks is concerned, I know that Nunes is quite a few off still, but she's near to the surpassing the most amount of victories in the bantamweight division consistently.
Okay, so she beat Carla for the title, defended against Penny, defended against Valerie, Claudia, Carolina, and Andrade. So that's, I mean, total in the UFC, eight in a row, right?
Yeah.
In the UFC, which makes that, what, 6 title defenses, I think?
Yeah.
No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 title defenses, right? Because she won and defended 5 times.
Yeah.
So she beats Rose. And then she beats whoever else. Does she become Demetrius Johnson to you?
No.
Why?
Because I think this is going to sound really, really stupid.
Okay.
But I think a lot more MMA fans, this isn't about crossover appeal and stuff like that. This is purely based within the community of MMA fans. People like Joanna.
Okay, but so people don't like DJ then? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think as many people like DJ within the whole MMA community as much as they claim.
Okay. I wonder why though, because like Joanna, first of all, Joanna is, okay, do you think the fact that she's female has anything to do with it?
That's I think it's to do with sprawl and brawl.
No, but I'm asking you specifically the female thing. Because we haven't had, other than Ronda Rousey, we haven't had like another female fighter that has this much appeal.
Yeah, because we haven't had a woman that's gone out and starched or finished people within split seconds. Do you know? Like if you
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, if you start finishing people within split second, within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, you're gonna get a lot of notoriety. That's just how it goes. If you're in the biggest league in the entire world and you score 40 points a game in the NBA, or you score 50 goals a season in the Premier League, you're going to get recognized. So I think when we look at Ronda Rousey, it's the same thing with Conor. You see these quick, flashy finishes, and you start to go, ooh, well, they're exciting. I know I can tune into them, and they're going to be fun, and it's going to be over quick. And that's what people want. Same with Anthony Joshua in boxing. We're not trying to watch for long periods of time, and that's the age that we live in. with that same thing said, I think the reason why Joanna is popular amongst the entire MMA community is because her style is aggressive. She isn't trying to grapple with you. She's not trying to beat you up on the ground. She's not trying to work positions on the ground. She ain't trying to play that. She's trying to get up and whoop your ass. Like, that's it.
Okay. I was wondering that because, just like you were saying about scoring 40 points, LeBron James dropping 40, much more relevant than name the top WNBA player dropping 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was the other way around with this case because DJ. I mean, the way I see it, if Joanna keeps winning, like, sure, DJ's not really starching everybody, but he's got quite a few finishes lately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not anti-DJ, by the way, just to...
No, I know. Yeah, I understand your point and what you're saying. I'm just fascinated by the fact that no one thinks that of her. Because she's exciting, I get that, right? I get your point. Exciting, goes through the finish every single time. DJ, not so much until, like, recently, really. The Benavidez knockout, the finish of who else did he finish? He starts the shit out of wasn't Heiss.
So
yeah. So I mean, yeah, but okay, that was, I was wondering what you thought of that because it always weirded me out that like people were talking about DJ that way, and I was like, all right, well, who's the next person to get that?
Okay, the other additional thing then maybe it's this as well. When we think of women, and this is going to sound sexist, but I mean it in a positive manner. When you think of women, you don't think of these women going out and spilling blood and guts. Do you know what I mean? Or just surgically picking apart their opponents. That's what Joanna does.
Yeah, even Ronda Rousey never admitted. I don't think she ever cut anybody open, did she?
She never butchered anybody. Like, Joanna, surgeon. Joanna busts folk up, and she picks them apart with malicious intent. And I think that's why she's more exciting to the overall, MMA community or whatever you want to refer to it as. Personally, I think they're both great. I just think that the problem is with Joanna, she's never complained. You know what I mean? I think that may be another reason. And I'm not against DJ complaining because I think you should. If you're not happy, you speak out, you voice your opinions.
Sure.
Joanna, she's just content with whooping ass and making a legacy.
I wonder how much longer it's going to last, though. Because she's popular. She's going to want to get paid a lot sooner or later.
Maybe she already is.
That's the other question. That's the other thing, too. Maybe she started off such a good foot that she's like, yeah, fuck complaining. I'm getting good.
Maybe she gets more money because she doesn't complain. You never know, do you? Do you know what I mean?
You never know. That's the weird part. That's the weird thing about MMA as far as, like, people complaining. Because, I mean, Connor's never complained about his pay. He always just said, I'm worth more. So I think maybe he left his complaints in the negotiation table instead of in the media. I think that's the biggest issue with Dana White is if you go out there and you gripe in the media, unless you're a massive name, like he's gonna be like, all right, you can go fuck yourself now. Yeah. If you're like, like Connor, you handle business where business is supposed to be handled, then it's a little different. Other fighters do the same thing.
One of the major problems I find as well, though, is with doing the whole speaking out against Dana White and the UFC is if you're not good enough to defend yourself, and what I mean by that is if you're not good enough to talk shit about the company, and then when they turn around and they throw, the equation that you can't, or on paper you shouldn't be able to solve, you're potentially going to take a loss. Because they're going to go, fuck you, we're going to give you the toughest fucking opposition. And if you don't want to take it, that just shows that you're a pussy. And then the entire media is just going to go, well, why don't you want to fight, the biggest challenge you could face? So then it puts you on the back burn. Yeah,
true. Now, Liam makes a good point. And what up, Liam? Thanks for joining us, man. He says, Joanna has 232,000 followers on Twitter. DJ has 255,000. It's bullshit to claim that she's popular with casuals. I think it depends on who's following, right? Like,
yeah,
I wonder. No way.
I was just going to say you've got to take into account though that he has a big social media as far as like Twitch as well.
Yeah, the gaming part of it, I think is going to be. If you could go into his followers and kind of up into like where they're from, as far as where they're following from, I think you have a decent amount of Twitch and gamers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That being said, I don't know. It's just it's a weird business to be in, man. It's a weird business to that these guys are involved in. I'd love to be like a fly on the wall in Dana White meetings with fighters or with their managers. You know what I mean? Just see what it's said.
See, I don't think, like I say, I just don't think that I don't necessarily think she's more over with casuals per se. I think that there's just a lot more interaction with these said casuals. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't know. I'm gonna put a little theory out there.
Okay.
Do you think maybe Demetrius doesn't use his social media as much as he should do?
I think Demetrius. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. I'd have to think about that because I haven't. Here's the thing: for as much as I'm on social media all the time, believe me, I'm you know how much I'm on social media. I get home and I get yelled at about having my phone out. It's like, we're watching a movie and you're over here and you have your phone out. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to people shooting the shit about fighting and NBA and whatever the fuck else I want to talk about. You've been on the thing all day. Yeah, we're watching a movie, and I go, and I'm literally like, I'm not missing the point. I'm literally agitating her on purpose. just like I know, right? And then she'll quiet down. I say shit for like 5 minutes, and then on purpose, if she don't say nothing, I'll pull my phone. I'll be like, look at this motherfucker said. Like,
Oh, no.
and I get chewed out. I make it up later, but still, regardless, it's like Oh, we'll talk about that, Liam, because I just saw it not too long ago. So, Liam is asking about just real quick so you don't forget. Can you guys later on mention that awful steep advertisement for the new film? I think the UFC should be using DJ's Twitter more. But the steep advertisement, have you seen it?
No.
Oh, Google it, YouTube it real quick. I think. See if I can pull it up. But we're not gonna play it on here because we'll get pulled off of fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it because it's ridiculous. But he says I think the UFC should be using DJ's Twitter more. Here's the thing about DJ. I think he needs to hire like a social media manager. By the way, DJ, I'm available.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be funny, but he's a charismatic dude, and he interacts with his fans all the time on Twitch. It ain't hard to do copy and paste, bro. Like, it's not hard to just say to one of your friends, "Can you just record some of my shit that you find funny and post it on Twitter as well?" Like, it's not hard. It's not hard to promote when you've already got 200,000. If anything, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that it's not down to the UFC sometimes. You've created your own social media following. I always hear the story about Kevin Hart in one of his films where he signed up to do a film. They did all the film. It got paid, and it come to the week when the months, weeks coming up towards the movie release date in the cinemas, and they were tweeting out and tagging him in stuff, this, that, and the other. And then after about a week or so, like the social media team and everything got in contact with him, and the production team and everything like that for the film came like in contact with him. Went like, why are you not tweeting about the film, and why are you not like posting about the film, and why are you not putting pictures on Instagram with the film, and why are you not advertising? And he went, oh, you thought when you paid me that included in my social media? No.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing, if Demetrius Johnson wants to be paid accordingly, and his followers are not tuning in to the events, and the Twitch followers are not tuning into the events, maybe it's time to start promoting it a bit more yourself and taking business into your own hands, because then when you start doing that, then you can actually turn and say, look at my social media followers. This is what happens when I tweet. Give me more money, I'll earn you more money.
How much do you think a Conor McGregor tweet is worth?
I'll say this. Bearing in mind, this is the easiest way to put it. When you look at the build-up for the boxing bout, you look at the certain social medias, like certain companies that he promoted tweets for, and we know this to be fact. We know that he's estimated to make 30 to 40 million on sponsorships. This is include posts and what he wears on his ring gear, etc. But what did he tweet wearing stuff maybe 10 to 15 times and wore it out? I'm just saying, it might cost you a cold, hard million to get a fucking, like, a promotional tweet from Conor McGregor now.
Yeah, here's the thing. LeBron James and some of the Kardashians, theirs is like in the multi-millions. Like, ridiculous amounts of like how much of tweets and Instagram posts are worth. It's pretty crazy.
But I don't think Conor even has 5 million followers on Twitter. I think he has a lot more on Instagram, don't get me wrong. But when you look at like LeBron James, I think he sits at like 20 million on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And Kardashians will be on even more than that. Kardashians will probably be in like the 30s probably.
Yeah. Hey Liam, could you find a link to that fucking to that fucking commercial for Stipe? Because it's and I forgot the name of the movie. I don't think it's what's the name of it? Fuck, I can't. I'm trying to find it so I can send you the link, but I can't find it anywhere. So and you need to see it in order to like fully appreciate how bad it really is. Like you really do. For real. Can't post links here well on Twitter. All right, yeah, if you can send it on Twitter, it'd be great. Two UFC champs come online together, and the company didn't promote it. Jesus Christ, I agree with Ash partly, but it's both ways. Yeah, because Liam's talking about the
Max Holloway.
Twitch with the Holloway Twitch thing where the UFC didn't even talk about it. You think the UFC could have used it?
I agree, but when Demetrius, you know what, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I'm a massive fan, and I've said numerous times on this show that I believe that Demetrius should be promoted better, and I'm 100% behind that. I'm just posing the question. Sometimes you have to take shit into your own hands,
right?
And can we honestly say, hand on our hearts, as fans of his, that he uses his social media enough? Because it's all going to say the UFC should promote him. The UFC should promote him. Totally. But shouldn't he use his social media to promote the events he's on?
He should. No, I get what you're saying. It's a weird fucking problem to have. You know what I mean?
It's because it doesn't take much to put out tweets, and that works both ways.
It takes nothing, but you're right, both ways. I think both, like, I'm with you. Both parties for the most part are at fault. You know what I mean? I just wonder, because we don't have access to behind the scenes and their person, obviously their conversation between the UFC and Demetrius, or Dana and Demetrius, or whoever the fuck is talking to each other. Like, I wonder if there's something there that makes both go, you know what, that guy can go fuck himself.
I think that it's both, but I think it doesn't help when Demetrius is, and I'm going to side with Demetrius in a sense here. Demetrius is the one that can say, market me in this manner. The UFC don't market him, but then it's that same thing of then it goes straight back to the thing of like, well, how many tweets have you put out, Demetrius? How many behind the scenes videos have you recorded and posted on Instagram?
Right.
How many times during your Twitch have you said to your 10,000 people watching live, make sure you tune in this weekend, make sure you tune in 2 weeks time, make sure you check in a month's time, I'm going to be fighting, defending my champion, squad up, etc. But then to the same extent, maybe he's using his Twitch to promote his t-shirts so he can make t-shirt sales, like the Mighty Mouse t-shirts that he has, which, is going to earn him all the money.
Yeah.
And if he's willing to do that, and he's willing to promote his shirts and caps and stuff like that on his Twitch and make money for himself purely, maybe the UFC goes, yo, you'll shout out your new t-shirt, but you won't shout out for the pay-per-view fighting this weekend? Well, fuck you, we ain't going to promote you either.
Liam says this, he goes, it'll be interesting to see how UFC changes when Dana leaves. Coker never slags off his fighters in public, and they mostly praise him. Maybe Dana hates DJ because Dana's just a prick. Maybe, like, again, you never know. I'd love to know that. I'd love to have like an honest conversation with Dana White. Be like, let's be honest. Do you hate DJ? Like, do you hate Demetrius Johnson? There's something about him that pisses you off. That and that's why the reason that and that's going a little far. You know what I mean? That's like definitely looking into it way too much. But
do you think that in the long term we're going to look back at Dana White and we're going to go, yeah, he did a lot of wrong things, but he did a lot of right? A lot of people, like, for example, and this goes back to the pro wrestling thing, a lot of people genuinely hate Vince McMahon. Like, a lot of people who have been in the professional wrestling industry hate Vince McMahon. But it'll be a very sad day when he passes away because of everything that he's done. And, we might hate him for a lot of things, but he's done a lot of great things as well for some people. So I don't know. There's a part of me that always wonders, how people will treat the UFC when Dana's gone, because who's the scapegoat? Would you rather have Dana White back? Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, if I remember correctly, when I was still watching, Vince McMahon would rarely take time off, but he was gone for a while, right? He would leave for like months at a time, and when he left, you'd get annoyed at whoever they put in his place, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking like breaking the fourth wall. I'm talking like in real life. Like,
oh, they hate him?
Yeah, no, because like Vince McMahon's like sacked people. He's
I know the what's his name?
CM Punk's one of them.
The Canadian cat.
Bret Hart. I can't even say.
Bret Hart hates, probably really hates him for that bullshit he pulled in his last fucking match with WWF or whatever it was back then. Yeah. I remember that. I remember he was mad pissed. He like spit on him and shit. And I was like, God damn, dude, you mad?
Yeah, but he also punched Vince McMahon in the back.
Yeah.
He punched him in the face and gave him a black eye.
Yeah. Hey, good for him. That's the thing about Vince McMahon that I can handle. He never shied away from talking to somebody that had a problem with him.
True, but the thing is, though, is again, there's a lot of people who have been, the careers have been sabotaged by him.
Oh, sure.
A lot of people who, have been held down by him. A lot of people that have been underpaid by him. A lot of people that have been bought out by him and held on the shelf so that they couldn't make money somewhere else. There's some people who were better and better suited as talent, and I'm basically talking as if like I'm talking about Dana White. There's certain people who were more talented that deserved more opportunities, but they didn't get the opportunities because people who were more friendly towards Vince got more opportunities. And I just pose the question because at the end of the day, now looking at WWE, a lot of people turn around and the actual main brand, a lot of people don't enjoy it because of the way it's ran behind the scenes by his daughter, and this isn't breaking the fourth wall again. They don't enjoy it. I'm just saying maybe that'll be the case when Dana leaves. Maybe we'll be complaining this, that, and the other, but it might get worse.
It might, but I don't know. It depends how long is Dana. You think how much longer do you think Dana is in the shit?
2 to 5 years, if that.
If you're Dana White, would you stick around?
I'd have been gone when they sold the company.
Right? Get the fuck out of Dodge. Go start Zuffa boxing if you want.
No, I wouldn't do shit. I'd just go and chill for a year and just let everybody fucking hate the product because nobody knows how to run that fucking thing. That's the other thing. People are making that right. Let's be completely honest. Completely hands on heart here, yeah? How much do we love the bullshit? How much do we love the bullshit?
And we probably like it a lot because the fact there's a lot to talk about. Well, for sure. I'm just saying, like
we love depicting it, debating it. We like,
the nitpicking of it. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And the other thing is though, is how cool. Right. Okay. So tomorrow, the rumor goes popping out. Conor is gonna fight Nate Diaz. It's not right. It's not fair. It's bullshit.
No, I agree.
It's not fair on Tony. It's not fair on potentially Kevin Lee. It's not fair on Khabib. It's not fair on all that fucking, division. It's bullshit because Nate ain't fought nobody. But you know what? Damn sure going to be excited for it. We're going to hype.
Oh, for sure. No. Okay.
Wheels. You are.
Dana White's been good, and Liam points this out himself. Dana White's good for the sport. There's no arguing that, right? He's been good for the sport up until now.
But he's going to be good for the sport again if he pulls that out tomorrow. You're going to be doing naked jumping jacks. You're going to be doing fucking roly polies, happy as shit, because you're going to get to see a fight that you want to see that makes it exciting. But if Dana White wasn't there and they turned around and went, right, Dana White's not there anymore. Right, this is what's going to happen. Conor's going to fight Tony Ferguson. We're scrapping that Kevin Lee bullshit. Kevin Lee can fight Khabib or some other motherfucker. We're cancelling that fight. We're going to make it so that rankings matter. And then we're never going to see Nate Diaz versus Conor. That's never going to happen. That fight never happens. Believe
it depends. If we go by what's fair, hell no. No. If we go by what's fair and what's right, yeah. That being said, rankings have been bullshit since day one, son.
I concur, but at least they're slightly accurate because the one thing I don't mind when the rankings aren't accurate per se is if the champion has beat the number one contender and the second in the rankings, and it's like, well, they've beat them back to back, and those two haven't fought anybody since. You have to give it to the third person. You just have to.
I don't know, man.
There's nobody else to fucking fight, though. There's nobody else to fight, so you have to.
Okay, that's a good question. There's nobody else to fight. Do you think the promotion is maybe putting themselves in a corner by only promoting certain people?
Yeah or no, but it's that thing of the.
Or is it a talent issue? Is there not enough talent?
I don't think that there's. I think personally there's two problems. I think that there. God, this is a weird one. I feel that I got excited when WME took over for the fact that, hear me out, because they do the TV show stuff, they do the, the character building of things. And I was kind of hoping that we'd see a lot of people that have certain personalities get media training. That's one of the key problems. You look at, what's his name? Chase Sherman?
Yeah.
Nobody's told him how to do shit. He just goes on Twitter and he just does everything. He tweets on everybody's shit. He replies to everybody's shit. He posts funny shit. He literally is a social media darling. Mm-hmm. How much do you think his money's going to increase every time he wins a fight now?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Now, I'm not saying everybody should be that way, because there's always the cold killer badass. But why don't we make them look like that? Why don't we, when Francis Ngannou tweets that, he's telling Alistair Overeem to shut up because if he doesn't, he's going to punch him and snap him with one punch. I go, whoa. It gives me a shit. Like, he's not the one to fuck with. Like,
yeah.
It's little things like that I think that media training is so important if you're not capable of doing so. And I think it's very important for fighters to know how to market themselves. Now, with WME coming in, I thought that was going to be one of those things that they'd probably do, but they didn't. So, that's a little bit down to them. But then on the same account, fighters don't want to promote themselves. Some of them are a bit socially awkward, and I get that. But you need to sometimes do things out of your own comfort to make money.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. It's just weird, man. I mean, fuck. You wish you could just wave a little wand and fix it all for everybody, but no, that's just not gonna happen. Not to mention that we ran out of shit to talk about.
That's the thing. I think that there'd still be something to talk about, because you'd have the characters, like, you have them still. You have Cowboy. The badass will fight anybody anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's on the fucking the far lands of Poland, or if he'll fight somebody in his hometown in 6 weeks. No, he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's a cowboy. That's his thing. Do you know what I mean? We have that. We have these people. But the problem is, though, is there's maybe 2 or 3 people per division that you go, I'll know who their name is, and I'll remember their story, and I'll remember their personality, and I'll remember how they carry themselves. The rest, dead ass, nothing. There's no link between us and them. They're just another fighter.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You think it's more that's more casuals, right, that believe that way? Because me and you, we talk about fighters that are deep in the roster all the time.
Yeah, but I think that's when you've been around for so long, you've seen so much. When you look back in the day when there wasn't that many fighters to watch.
Yeah.
You used to be invested because everybody in that division you had to know, because they were the only ones that was there to know. Now you've got 74,000 different promotions across the fucking planet.
It's funny. That reminds me, when they announced Chris Avila was going to fight a 202 against Artem Lobov, I was the first one to say, no, not ready. Too young. What are you doing? And they threw him in there. I was the only one that said, no, don't do that shit. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, is this kid fight? No, look him up on YouTube. Not ready. And look at it. Look what happened now.
That's the problem. It's the same shit, man. Like, it's hard to learn God damn, I'm from the UK and I struggle to keep up with half of the UK stuff, because there's so many little fucking promotions and stuff that are all trying to get a piece of the pie, and then somewhere or another they either end up at BAMA, They end up fucking Cage Warriors. Like, that's what happens.
Let me ask you something then, because I was talking to my professor. It was actually at the tournament on Saturday. There was like a nice, like 20, almost 30-minute. Huh?
Meaty. Did you say meaty to him?
I did not say meaty to him. I said it to my training partner, which is worse. Anyway, but I really did say that shit a lot, and fucking Gun Death was on my ass about it immediately. Yeah. Anyway, but anyway, we're at the tournament, and it was like a 20-minute like lull in between matches or between fights for my teammates. And when we were talking about MMA, and I was talking to somebody else about MMA. He overheard us, and he goes, you know what, man? I can't watch MMA anymore because I just got so tired of the bullshit. Do you ever find yourself getting tired of MMA?
No, I you know what? I think the only thing I get tired of is bullshit cards.
Okay.
That's what I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but we were talking about ACB and their bonus scheme. And their bonus scheme is, you get paid like $5,000 every time you finish a fight. So if you win your fight, you get $5,000. Like if you finish it, if it goes to decision, you don't get shit. 9 times out of 10, every one of those fucking fights finishes. Like it ends up in submission or knockout, TKO. Like every one of them. And I feel that the risk for not losing in the UFC sometimes gets to certain fighters, especially on the like lower, like on the pre-show, like on the prelims and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I kind of go, if you offered them $5,000 extra if they get a finish to both of them, instead of doing a $50,000 for fight of the night, submission of the night, KO of the night, whatever, I think to myself, like, do that. You'd save yourself some money more than likely because you'd have to give out 150 G's. There's only like 10 fights on the card. So the most you could give out is 100,000. So fuck it. Just $10,000 to finish. For some of those fighters on the smaller card, instead of just winning a fight and just getting, 1,500, if you knock your opponent out, you've made 10 times more, well, roundabout 10 times more than what you would have done. And I think that's my problem with MMA. It's not. I love tuning into every week, and it's can't miss TV because you miss out the sickest knockout or the sickest submission or the sickest fight on the prelims. You're gonna be pissed with yourself.
Okay, but you don't ever like log on Twitter and go, like
I get sick of MMA fans. I get sick of.
I am so tired of a certain kind of MMA fan, and it's not like a McGregor fan or a Diaz fan or anything like that. I get tired of the fans who it's always really. I get tired of there's two types of fans that I can't stand: the ones that know it all, supposedly, and then the ones that make it all up as they go. You know what I mean? And you try to explain it to them, they go, "Oh yeah, that's right." But the ones that know everything and just will not fucking hear an idea. And I know that's like everybody, right? It's in every topic possible. There's close-minded motherfuckers here and there. Great, and whatever. But it's like exhausting sometimes to like talk to people. Because here's the thing, I go on Twitter, I'll literally talk to anybody, like anybody. Like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of like guys or ladies and gentlemen on Twitter, accounts on Twitter, who won't talk to you. They won't respond to your tweets and shit, right? I respond to like 99% of the tweets that people send me, unless it's like a bot or something stupid that I really don't, that's just that dumb that I don't want deal with it. But I don't know. I think the whole, as a whole, I think I get burnt out on MMA because of those people. But I think the what do they call it? Like the worst part, the one thing that starts it all off is having so many fucking cards, dude. Like there's times where I don't like this weekend. I'm not gonna get to watch much. I might get to watch the co-main and the main, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But I might get to watch the co-main and the main because I'm going to a tournament. You know what I mean? Some Saturdays, dude, I just want to go out with my friends and shoot the shit. But I also don't want to miss an MMA card. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. Like I have here's the thing. I'm lucky. Most of my friends train, and most of my friends, most of my friends train, and most of them watch MMA. You know what I mean? But sometimes we just want to go out and shoot pool. We don't want to fucking do anything about talking about fighting. Dude, the guys that I train with, like at Jiu-Jitsu and the Muay Thai class and all that, we rarely talk about MMA or Jiu-Jitsu. Rarely, outside of techniques. You know what I mean? We'll talk about everything outside of that whole thing. Like, hey man, what movie did you go see? You hear about the new fucking car? Hey, that jackass is all bullshit over there. The fucking, the calves and all that shit. You know what I mean? And then outside of it, we're out and shit. Once in a while, we'll talk about something. But it's just, it's really weird. Like maybe it's because I'm so surrounded by it. You know what I mean? Because we do we do this show. I do the Crossbones podcast that take up a lot of my time as well. I'll do the live tweets for K-Side Press. I train every day. You know what I mean? I think because I'm so surrounded by it at some point, it just not that it gets old, but it's kind of like, all right, I need to breathe. I need to take a break here.
I think that's the thing. Like anything, though, like you always hear that like a lot of fighters don't want to talk about fighting.
Sure, I've spoken to fighters face to face before at like fights at like World Series of Fighting or whatever it's called now, PFL, I think it is. But World Series of Fighting, I went there and I would talk to guys like, rest in peace, Ryan Jimmo was he's at the second Palomino Gaethje fight that I was at, and we were both in media row, right? He's like a row ahead of me, and he comes back, he fucking turns around, nicest guy ever. I thought he was an asshole, apparently not. He's a funny guy. So he might be an ass at some point, or he might have been an ass at some point, but he's a cool guy, right? Turns around, shakes my hand, hey man, I'm Ryan Jimmo, and I'm like, hey man, I'm Eddie, what's up? Like I know who you are, but I didn't say that, right? And you shoot, sitting back and whatnot, and what the hell? Yeah, I'll read that in a second. But we didn't talk at all about fighting until the main fight started. You know what I mean? We're talking about everything else. Hey man, so what do you do outside of this and all this stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're on point with that. Most fighters probably don't want to talk about fighting when they don't have to. So it's just weird for me, man. As like a fan, and as I don't know, and I don't even know I don't even call myself anything, an MMA podcaster at best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's all I consider this. It's like I think I look at it as like MMA entertainment.
Yeah. Like
I look at it as kind of like we're doing analysis. I don't think we're doing like news reporting.
Yeah, like I never. And the thing is, I have my fucking journalism degree. I used to do the job, but I'll never call myself an MMA journalist because I'm not. You know what I mean? Because that's not what I'm in it for. If I was an MMA journalist, you'd rarely see me in a podcast. I wouldn't have time. I'd be out there fucking knocking on doors and making phone calls, trying to get the scoops and the stories and all this other shit. And, trying to find out what the fuck's going on with John Jones and why ABQ sucks and all that. And like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not. I'm a podcaster at best. I have another, we talk off air all the time. You know me pretty well. I know you pretty well. I got my life outside of this that I fucking fully enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I like going out bowling, man. I'm not a great bowler. I'm a decent bowler, shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's just like the MMA thing kind of like engulfs everything else. You know what I mean?
It's like a girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Your girlfriend could be hot as shit, but she talks too fucking much. I told her to shut the fuck up because you're tired of a shit.
There's always one guy tired of a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter how hot she is, it doesn't matter how.
There's always one guy.
How much she puts out. There's always one guy who's sick of a bullshit.
Yeah. Liam says, Eddie, you should visit Ash. You could go out till 2 a.m. and still be home for the main card. It's probably true. That's probably true. You know what I prefer though? I prefer the noon cards. They start at noon. I can fucking grill. I can make a nice lunch and then just watch the fights. And then after the fights, guess what I get to go do? I get to go out with my friends, go fucking shoot the shit somewhere, hang out. You know what I mean?
That's the same over here though. When they do those really early cards for you over there, they're really early for us, so they get done for about 7 o'clock over here.
And then you get the fuck out, right? You go outside, you go do some shit.
Yeah, from 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, like I was I had friends asking me if I wanted to play in a city league for basketball. I haven't played competitively in a long time, like easily 3-4 years. Basically, as long as I've been doing podcasting and as long as I've been training martial arts continuously, because I trained for a long time before that, then I stopped, and then I came back to it, right? And I'm just like, nah, I can't. What days are the games? It's like Wednesdays, my show, and fucking Fridays, pre-fight shows. Like, nah, dude, I can't. You know what I mean? And it makes me like, I've never said I'm gonna, I've never gone like, oh, fuck this podcasting game. I'm tired of this shit. I'm fucking done. I've never done that. You know what I mean? I've come fucking close. I promise you that. I've come so goddamn close to just saying, oh, fuck all this shit. I'm done. You know what I mean? But I mean, honestly, the reason I still do it, and we're totally off topic now, but the only reason I still do it It's because I meet cool fucking people doing this shit. You meet a lot of assholes. Please fucking believe that shit.
This feels like a Brendan Schaub moment.
This is a Brendan Schaub moment, bro. I don't see you beating Cain Velasquez. In fact, I think he fuck you up. He fuck you up. Like, he thoroughly fuck you up. Like, it sucks to say it, bro, but I feel like it's got to be said. I wish I could do a Rogan impression. I really do. But for real, though, it's like, you know, it brings me back as a cool fucking people. Like, I mean, I met you on here. Fucking, I met Jesse and Fred on here. You know, rest in peace, Andrew Reed. I met him on here. He's just commenting on the shows all the time, right? And then I remember one time it's like, fuck, you want to come on? And he was just like, no, I wouldn't be any good, whatever. You just fucking come on. He ended up being the best part of the dude. He ended up being the best part of every show he was on. Was Andrew Reed doing some crazy shit or saying some crazy shit that nobody else would say. You know what I mean? Ending it, fucking threatening a certain world leader's life over and over and over again. I'll tell you exactly what he said afterwards. Look, go to crossmma.com and go back to the last few videos that he did, the last few weeks of those advocate shows, okay, that he was on, and just scroll to the very end. Don't even watch the whole thing. Just scroll to the very last 20 seconds and just watch Andrew Reed go off on Trump. Just it's fucking hilarious. Like, but he ended up being like the best part of the show, and I would not have met that motherfucker unless I started doing this podcasting thing.
Exactly.
That I started 4 or 5 years ago. Like, I've known Fred Kirby for about 4 or 5 years, and we met doing this shit, doing a show called the MMA Chat Hour with this dude that called himself the something gorilla. It wasn't Chase Sherman, obviously, but yeah. But this guy, he doesn't do it anymore. In fact, like, I once in a while I'll tweet him or I'll hit him up because we're friends on Facebook too. I'll hit him up like, hey, you still alive? He's like, yeah, man, just busy as shit. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. As long as you're still good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing it that fucking long, man. Like, it was weird. Like, when I first started, nobody did these live shows. You know what I mean? So I remember I was talking to Fred and Aaron Robbins, and I was like, Aaron Robbins, another guy who I consider a very good friend. Him and Fred, especially, and Jesse, and you, of course. But like,
cheers, bro.
Yeah. But I remember we were sitting there one day, and I was shooting the shit with him on Twitter, and I go, why don't we do a live show? What do you mean? Just fucking go on there and say whatever the fuck comes to your mind. And they're like, all right. So we fucking did it, and now everyone's doing it too. Am I saying I started the trend? Possibly. But, okay, regardless, everyone's doing these live shows now, and that's fucking great to see, right? Because you got a lot more people talking about the sport, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? But I wonder how long, like, because I've talked to people that quit doing these. Like, there's one fella that I haven't seen him do a show in a long time. He still runs his Twitter. And I'll tell you his name off air, but you probably know who he is, or at least seen some of his shit. But like, I haven't seen him put a video out at all. And he used to do like the full thing. He would record it. He had a fucking like studio with like a table set up. He had a belt, so him and his co-host would do picks. Right? I might have given it away now, but he had a belt. And whoever picked the most correct had the belt for that week. Right? He had an intro video with a fucking like really nice fucking car on there. It's a super dramatic shit. And he was kind of, you know, he's a funny jackass. Like, he's a kind of a jackass. He's funny as shit. I mean, like, I never like did a show with him right there. Or I never really like, you know, like we follow each other on Twitter and shit. And once in a while I'd be like, dude, that was fucking funny. Keep that shit up. That's just funny. You know what I mean? And he missed on a lot of it, let's be honest. He whiffed a lot of jokes. But like when he hit real well, right? But he hadn't put on a show in forever. And I want, like,
the thing is, with that same thing said, I know this sounds like kind of a topic, but it kind of links in though. A lot of people quit because they don't, the moment just doesn't come for them.
Yeah.
If you do it for the clicks, if you do it for the money, if you do it for that, you'll never get there.
Yeah, you're not gonna last.
You're never gonna last, because it's about moments. And this leads me to what I was just about to say with on Twitter right now, there's a moment that's trending, and it's to do with the Apple event. And in the Apple event, as they always do, they post like their iTunes thing, and it'll show you like a few artists that like their album covers and whatnot. And it shows this one girl and her album. She's a DIY artist, you know. She's independent. She's put this out herself, and her name is Emma Blackery, and I believe the name of the album is Magnetized. And she didn't know that Apple was going to show her album cover and her album and name
an international broadcast. Wow,
on a broadcast that's going to reach millions, not just millions over the course of a week, a month,
like immediately.
Like 1 million people are going to tune in. At least 1 million are going to tune in to that live stream, and repeatedly more and more over the next coming days. And now she's getting flooded. She's gone up to now, I don't know what she was on prior, but right now she's on 654,000 followers.
Holy shit! Look, man, look, I'll tell you what. If it's a good, if she's like a legit good artist, not one of those fucking whack ass like new ones, God, I hope the best for her, man. I hope fucking she gets mad pay.
There's loads of things where people saw Emma Blackery at Apple event, and I became an instant fan after checking her out.
I'm gonna check her out real quick.
So I don't know what kind of music she does or anything like that, but it just shows you that if you put yourself out there and you believe and you enjoy what you do, you can do it. And I think that there's a lot of people that do these shows and they underutilize the things that they have before them. They might have tens of thousands of followers that don't use them tens of thousands of followers to the best of their advantage. They might, get good ratings on a video, but they don't know how to market their video to take it further. They might not know how to deal with sponsors. They might not know how to. And the thing is, though, is with that same thing said, if you're in this just to, succeed and you don't enjoy anything that you do, there's no point in doing it. Dude, you ever seen that video that "Fuck You Google Plus"? No.
Okay, there's a song. Okay, look that up on YouTube. There's this girl that gets a fucking like ukulele or something and sings a song called "Fuck You Google Plus." When Google bought YouTube and fucked it all up, like, I don't know you were on there at all those days. I remember getting on one day and it was like, oh yeah, YouTube or Google bought YouTube. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's gonna be a bigger company, more resources, right? It'd be great. No, they fucked it all up. Like the whole fucking thing was way fucked. I mean, super fucked. This girl, Emma Blackery, gets on YouTube and makes a video called "Fuck You Google Plus." It's a whole song that she wrote herself, and it's fucking great. Okay, I didn't know that was her. No, that's her. That's the one. And so I guess she's now doing legit music. So that's pretty cool. But she was like, make sure you subscribe to the video, like it, and leave a comment, or don't. I might not be back on here at all. They might just kick me off. Like it was pretty fucking funny. Like that song was genius because it fucking everyone bought into that song. Fuck You Google Plus, because I remember I logged in. I'm like, what the fuck, Google? You fuck this shit. I don't know where anything is now. Like, and you throw ads on this bitch and all that. So no, yeah, definitely. I'm that's not my kind of music. It's like pop. Yeah. But I look. Hey, fuck it. Get paid, young lady. I hope it works out.
Exactly. But, so it kind of goes with what you were saying, though. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that don't do this for the love of what they're doing it for. Like, we're going to do like a lot more video game stuff because it's something that we think will make great content for. So on Friday, be sure to tune in onto this page or onto twitch.tv/The Heel Hook. There'll be loads of content to do with NBA 2K17. Trust me, even if you're not an NBA fan, you're going to want to tune into this. It's going to be a lot of fucking fun, I assure you. But like I said, it's just one of those. Yeah. Good content.
It's weird because I've had guys on my team that aren't with us anymore that weren't that way at all. They were just like, oh, we got to do this. We got to get sponsors and stuff like that. And, oh, we get these sponsors and we can ask them for this. We can get paid and all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, hey, settle down there. Rocket, what the fuck's going on? I was like, and I remember I said this from the very beginning. But when I first started doing the CrossFit stuff, and I said, if we get sponsors, it's to give stuff away. Okay? I go, no sponsor is going to come up to our little show and be like, yeah, here's a boatload of money for you for your 300 subscribers. Like, you're not going to get that, right? So I remember saying, like, it's got to be for giveaways. And those guys did not last. They went away. They threw a bitch fit and bail, whatever the fuck it was, and went elsewhere. And I was like, hey, good luck. Like, I sincerely wish you good luck. I'm over here. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I enjoy it. Like, believe me, if I wasn't doing these shows, I'd probably be tweeting about this shit right now. I've been tweeting, about this weekend's card or fucking why Misha Tate's hotter than Gina Carano or, stupid shit, right? But regardless, I think it's pretty cool that we have this like a platform we can do stuff like that. And I actually enjoy meeting people like you and like Jesse and Fred and Aaron Robbins and there's that Evil Eddie guy who I thought was weird at first, but actually he's kind of cool. I remember watching Evil Eddie. It was a Pure Evil MMA, something like that. But I think it's Evil Eddie, and they mixed me and him up for a while. They're like, "Hey man, aren't you supposed to be on the show right now?" I'm like, "Where?" Like, "You're supposed to be on right now," and I'm like, "Wrong Eddie, bro." That guy's cool, but I don't know him. You know what I mean? Guys like that. You know, people like who else is on this? There's a bunch of guys, and you know that do these shows and stuff like that. And it's actually pretty cool to get that because it's not just like. You could only do that. Like you could only do a big sports show if you work for like an ESPN or Fox Sports or an ESPN Radio or NBC Radio or fucking Sirius XM, right? And it's kind of, I don't know, it's cool that you could do. You know, anybody could do it, and you can get a pretty good following. I mean, you know, like I said, Crossbones has maybe a little over 300 subscribers, and I'm okay with that. But there's shows like, you know, there's other shows that have like, you know, a few thousand. There's some that have 10,000. You know what I mean? Like. Hey, do what you do, man. Keep putting it out there. I think, you know, people were asking me, like, are you ever going to stop doing this? And I go, yeah, one day. I don't know when, but I'll tell you what, that day is going to come when I have real responsibilities. Like, you know what I mean? Where I can no longer be a 31-year-old kid. Like, the day I have to be a 31-year-old adult or whatever age I'm at, adult, I will say goodbye to this because I have real shit to worry about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100.
Fuck it. I'm going to keep doing this shit.
I agree. We'll move into a less dramatic and
yeah, that's the thing. I just fucking go off. I mean, you know me. I fucking you steer me one way, I'll go downhill on that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, I see where you're coming from. At the end of the day, I think one thing that we always need to take into account is that we do love this sport, and that's the be all end all of it. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we don't like, but if there wasn't the stuff that we didn't like, the stuff that we do like might not seem as magical. It might not seem as fun to watch. If everything was just smooth, it'd be boxing, and nobody wants to watch boxing.
Ain't nobody trying to watch, no one trying to, except for this weekend. But other than that, ain't nobody trying to find watch boxing. Of course, Canelo Triple G this weekend. I'm gonna try and catch it. That's gonna be a fucked up one for me because I mean a full day of tournament. Luckily, I'm not unlucky. Unfortunately, I'm not fighting. So that sucks, asshole. But then you'll be there, you know, giving as much advice as I can for the full fucking day. Yeah, I'm gonna do it just with you. Me pop of the hand. Okay, whatever. But it's an off for me. I can't do it. And then I'm gonna try to get somewhere to watch the Canelo fight, and hopefully I catch at least the Rockhold Branch fight. But I don't really want to miss that Mike Perry fight. I really don't want to miss that.
The Mike Perry Thiago fight. Who you got?
Fuck, I want to pick Thiago Alves so badly, but dude lets me down every time. I fucking like trust in like, oh, he's gonna fuck this guy up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I hate to say it this way, but I'm gonna say it this way: pre-USADA, like Thiago Alves, killer. In fact, made weight. You know what I mean? Post-USADA, Thiago Alves, question mark. Who fucking knows who's showing up?
These Brazilians,
it's the Brazilian thing, unfortunately. So, but
I'm going Mike Perry because I think that Alan Jouban fight was a wake up.
I like Mike Perry. I'm picking Mike Perry as well. I don't like him, but I like him. Like I don't like. He's the one that was like saying a bunch of fucked up shit, right? Or am I thinking somebody else?
Who was one of his training partners was fighting against. No, he was fighting against the tall Asian guy, and
yes.
Yeah, he was called
Lee Yi, something like that. Whatever. Yeah, he said that fucked up shit. Yeah, fuck that dude. Yeah, he's in the corner talking shit. Okay, yeah. His one of his guys was fighting. He was cornering. Yeah, I don't like who he is at all. Like the shit that he says, I'm like, wow, what a douchebag. That being said, he's a violent motherfucker. That guy is an instrument of violence. So
he reminds me a lot of Robbie Lawler. I'm not gonna lie. The way that he just marches.
He does it with less intelligence, if that makes sense to you.
No, I'm talking like early Robbie.
Oh, fuck it, Robbie? Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Robbie, bite down on your fucking mouthpiece. Go, come on, bitch. Fucking, you're talking Pat Miletich, Robbie. Okay, yeah. Fucking hey, dude. That dude was a fucking nutcase. He went in there trying to knock out Nick Diaz, and he got fucked up.
He got hit with that 1-2 that he was just like, oh no.
Mind you, that was when Nick Diaz was not a knockout, was not a hands guy. Everyone thought he was a jiu-jitsu guy only. And you know what he did the whole fight? Stood with Robbie Lawler. And then he also did it with,
if you remember correctly, he hit him because I remember I've watched this sequence recently.
Yeah.
You remember he hits him with the slap in come on, bitch, and then he literally turns around and then Robbie goes, fuck yeah, and then he marches forward and he actually goes backwards, steps another step backwards, and then he pops in with the 1-2, and then he just goes.
Yeah. And then I've seen Nick do that a couple times with him. Is that fight where Nick just stood with him the whole time, and the Paul Daly fight where everyone thought Nick was going to get knocked out, and Nick's like, nah, fuck that. Well, he nearly did, but he didn't pull guard. He didn't shoot. He's like, no, we're going to stay on the feet, bitch. Let's go. But, yeah, anyway. But, no, Mike.
Fight for him.
Yeah, that was crazy. But Mike Perry, also the omoplata against Gomi was a motherfucker. And that was Pride, though. See, look, all this information in my head that fucking doesn't help me in everyday life, but I can put into this shit, so it works out.
Exactly. But yeah, totally though. I think Mike Perry is one of those guys that comes forward and march through. But I think after that Alan Joban fight where he got picked apart.
Yeah. I think he's gonna come in and he's gonna start off careful because they don't expect him to do that. They expect him to come out like a fucking hot, bat out of hell, right? I mean, I think he's gonna come out, be a little more methodical, and then pick his spots and then get crazy because Thiago Alves is gonna get tired. He does get tired. Alves constantly gets tired. That's my number one gripe about him. He don't make weight and he's fucking cardio sucks. So, but I'm thinking Mike Perry probably, but you know what? I think it's gonna be a knockout. I don't think they're making it out of there.
I think second round TKO for
that makes sense. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go with TKO because I think he'll hit him with something short, like something not necessarily killer. I think he drops him, and then I think it's just a case of the ref just peeling Perry off of him.
Yeah, I keep in mind Mike Perry's totally. He's totally capable of the one-hitter quitter, but I doubt
100%. I just think he's going to be very picky with the shots. And like you say, when people get tired, they tend to fall down rather than get knocked down.
Yeah. That being said, God damn it, Thiago Alves, I wish you were still on your shit. Just let him get away with a little bit.
Go to fucking Ryzen.
You know what's funny? Ryzen's like the fuck it, just roid up organization for us now. It used to be Pride. Now it's like Ryzen. It's the same guy from Pride. I mean, basically the same people, so.
But that at all. The thing is though is I just don't like this whole like Bellator's like the competitors, the UFC, and I'm thinking to myself, is the retirement home maybe?
They act like the retirement home. I look, and it was funny because on fucking Saturday night, yesterday Gundam was on here on the it's been a long week, dude. Yesterday feels like a week ago, but but Gundas comes on here. He's like, stop shooting on Bellator. I like Bellator. Like, joking around, but still. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, dude. But it is a retirement home. It's where, UFC fighters go to get a couple paychecks more.
It's the retirement home and the breeding ground. Any young kid that has 2 wins in that, they'll bring him in just to get their ass whooped by somebody who's 15th in the UFC.
Yeah, dude, that Aaron Pico kid, man. Someone was lying to that kid, telling me he was ready. He was not ready.
You see that on the promotional bill, they actually turned around and said that he was still 0-0-0.
No, he's not. He's 0-0-1. Oh no, he's 0-1.
Yeah. Well, somebody needs to tell the person who made the Bellator card.
You know what? I'll give them a pass. The UFC constantly fucks shit up. What was it? They put up the lightweight title fight. Was it a featherweight title fight? Who's it? 55.
Featherweight title for the interim belt between Kevin Lee and
Ferguson. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That bullshit, right? If the UFC pulls shit like that off, Bellator, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're okay.
I just find it interesting that they're trying to cover the Pico's fucking record.
Fucking, that's horseshit, man. They fucking screwed that kid. They screwed that kid. Whoever told him he could fight, even at Bellator level, for his first fight.
Against him, he had a few fights under the belt as well.
They were 8 fights? Like, I get it. He looked like a fucking hippie, but fuck, he could fight. I mean, he looked like a fucking like liberal arts teacher at like a shit liberal arts university where they hand out flowers at the entrance of the school so you feel better about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like that kind of guy. He came in, starched Pico. He was supposed to lose. He was brought in to lose, and he won. So Pico, whoever the yes people are around you, you tell them shut the fuck up.
So anyway. Speaking of people who are supposed to win, I know who you've got picked for this next fight.
Fuck yeah. He's not going to let me down this time.
Luke Rockhold, I'm saying, gets knocked out in this fight.
What? No. Is David Branch Brit? Is he a Brit?
No, he's American. He's a
Are
New
you
Yorker.
sure?
He's a New
Are you
Yorker.
sure? Because I feel like you're picking him because he's not.
Nope, 100%. I'm going with Branch. I'm going with Branch based on the fact that he's been more consistently active. He's been
fucking. Go ahead, sorry.
Hey, compared.
I know.
Luke Rockhold's been playing grab ass, chasing Demi Lovato's fine ass.
Good for you, Luke.
No, he's not with her anymore. She dumped him.
Oh, dumped him?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Because he's an asshole, dude. That guy's.
You know what? Like, what's he been doing for the past fucking 18 months?
Look, great fighter, but he comes off as just a douche. You know what?
He gets chinned. He gets chinned. I bet
he's gonna get chinned. He is not getting chinned. He's knocking out David Branch, TKO, hardcore. Just
nope. I'm betting you he gets starched.
God damn! No way! Dude, it's David Branch.
Yo, I'm just saying he's been more active. He's been winning his fights against lesser talent. I don't dispute it. But if Luke Rockhold walks in there with that same attitude, with why the fuck am I fighting this guy? He's getting starched again.
What's the heaviest weight class in Cage Warriors?
In Cage Warriors, they have heavyweights.
Okay, what's Paddy Pimblett?
He's a 145er, but he should be a 155er.
Okay, I bet you Paddy can knock out David Branch.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's how little faith I have in. That's how little faith I have in anybody that spent most of their fucking career in World Series of Fighting.
Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje's an anomaly. That guy's just a zombie. He's gonna die.
No, come on.
Are you serious? Justin Gaethje?
Like, you can't.
Zombie.
You can't turn around and say, "Oh, everybody out of World Series of Fighting is gash," and then you jerk off to that fucking fight against him and Michael Johnson. Like, what the fuck?
Time out. Did you think he got lucky? A lot of people got lucky.
Who?
Gaethje.
You know what? I'm not saying it's luck because you just. I don't like the word luck in fights like that because it's like he could have got knocked out 17 times.
Sure.
But he didn't. I'll put it this way. I don't like Justin Gaethje's chances against
Eddie.
No, I think he could match through Eddie, you know.
You think so?
I really do. A part of me just thinks that once Eddie starts hitting you and you don't go down, what does Eddie do?
Against Conor, he didn't even shoot. He froze. Like deer in headlights.
That kind of. I'm putting it this way. When Justin Gaethje starts turning around and saying, like, I'm willing to die in the middle of that octagon, and you're going to have to literally put your fist through my face, and if you don't, I'm going to march through it, and I'm going to punch you in yours, and I'm going to leave you a bloody mess on the floor. Eddie's going to be like, oh, yeah, I've heard that before. And he's like, yeah, when Conor said it, and he did it, and I'm going to do it too. Mind games, motherfucker.
Gaethje's not... Okay, I'm not going to put the guy down. Shit. I like Gaethje. Okay, here's my point. Do David Branch is not on Luke Rockhold's level. But here's the part about Luke Rockhold. It's who's showing up.
Exactly.
Mentally.
Who's ready to kill?
Right. Like if Luke Rockhold shows up, like the Luke Rockhold that beat Weidman, which by the way, I don't think was his best either. If it's a Luke Rockhold from Strikeforce, goddamn. If it's a Luke Rockhold against Weidman, okay, she'll get the win pretty handily. Okay. If it's a Luke Rockhold against Bisping, then you're right. David Branch should fuck him up. But I don't think Rockhold's ready to be embarrassed like that again.
But do you think though that after being knocked out like that plays on you, especially for the amount of time? Like, look at Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long time to be out.
No, you're right. Certainly, that kind of knockout, especially the way it went down, in a humiliating way against a guy that came in with 2 weeks' notice, if that. And you walked in going like looking like you were just that you were pissed off they were bothering you to come fight. Like, how dare they fucking have me fight? This is bullshit. I should just get the belt. Fuck it. Like that little bullshit little kid attitude. Yeah, it's gonna fuck with you when you get knocked out by a guy that's like telling you, fuck you. Putting his arms up on the fucking cage and shit. That's my favorite sequence. Then the favorite sequence, he goes, "Fuck you," and the fucking cagey shit. I was like, fuck, fucking Bisping did it. Like, I was so happy for Bisping, first of all, but like, I was laughing my fucking ass off because of how it went down. I was like, I remember when the fight was when he was walking out, I'm like, God, this motherfucker looking all like pissed off, like annoyed. He almost seemed like he was pissed off that they were bothering him, right? The same way Jimmy Manuel walked out when he fought Ozdemir.
Yeah.
He walked out like he was just like telling the ref like, hurry up, come on, hurry up, and then crack, like ooh.
And I pose the same question to you when you look at somebody who gets knocked out viciously and they take a long period of time off and they don't respect as well the person that they're going to be facing opposite them, bad shit can happen. And I'm thinking, and this is the other thing, Luke getting smashed like that, that's got to put a little bit of nerves in you. I don't care what anybody says. That puts a little bit of nerves in you. Like, could I get knocked out like that again? I'm just saying, what's Branch's record? Let's pull up Branch's record. So
if he gets knocked out again like that, it's not going to be because of Branch.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to get knocked out by Branch.
He's not getting knocked out by Branch. Sorry, dude. You better just write it down.
Let's pull up David Branch's record real quick.
I'm going to see where David Branch is originally from. I feel like you're lying to me.
He's American. Chill. Like, what the fuck?
I'm going to put David Branch Britain. Does this motherfucker have some kind of bias?
He's from the Bronx. He's from the fucking. He's a Henzo guy.
Yeah, I know where he's from, dude. I'm
just saying. You're right.
By the way, he looks way older than 35. He looks like he's in his 40s.
Right. Okay. You know what? Actually, I might be more lenient to say that he's going to get the fucking submission at this rate. Right. So since his last loss, he's had 11 victories on the bounce. So he's won by, and this is from the first win we're going by. So he won by decision. Then he won by DAS, then by TKO, then by Von Fluchoke, then by naked, then by decision, rear naked choke, and then he beat Jocko in his first UFC bout at 211 via decision split.
Okay. I mean, yes. I don't know. Okay. Off that list, Yushin Okami, legit. Clifford Starks, he's actually out of Arizona. He's legit. Not very high level, but he's good. Vinny Magalhaes, seems like everyone beats that dude.
Everybody knows Jesse Taylor.
But Christopher Jocko, that's a tough fight, and for him to win the split decision, okay, I give him a little bit of legit on that. But I just don't see him finishing Luke Rockhold, especially not by submission. That being said, Luke Rockhold spent a lot of time, rolling with Demi, so I'm not sure if he's like ready.
I didn't know that. Right? Okay, hold up.
What?
His last loss was against Anthony Joshua. Why do I keep saying that?
Johnson.
Anthony Joshua. Yeah, Rumble.
Yeah, that was a Titan card.
Yeah,
back in 2012. 12? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember it was a Titan card. Rumble had just gotten cut.
Yeah.
For being a fat ass, and I forgot. I don't know if they fought at like heavyweight. It might have been a heavyweight or light heavyweight fight.
They fought at 195 because both of them missed weight.
So Jesus!
So they missed. So they went at 195.
Yeah, he also fought. You might see it on his record. That nonstop action, whatever the fuck.
I don't know, but he also fought against Is that against Palhares? Yeah, he fought against Palhares.
Dominic Steele, nonstop action pack. That's right. Who's in the UFC now? I think so in the UFC. Yeah, he lost to Palhares, but guess what? Fucking heel hook. He probably held it too long too. Anyway, regardless, look, it's gonna be Luke. I don't care what anyone says.
So David Branch is gonna win this fight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be mad. He gets knocked out and retires to go and be a model and chase old models that don't want anything to do with him anymore. I'm just throwing it out there. That'll be the end of it.
Man. Also on this card, Hector Lombard, who's coming off a knockout, right? Or like a knee to the fucking head knockout. Or I think it's somebody else.
Hector Lombard. Hold up. I know he's
Lombard's
fighting.
coming off a loss, I think. I know he's fighting Alexander, whatever the hell. Or sorry. Anthony. Anthony, I forgot his last name. I'm looking at a different page. Yeah. Hector Lombard got 3 losses in a row. Neil Magny TKO'd him. Dan Hendo knocked him out at 199.
Anthony Smith.
Oh, yeah. And then he lost to Johnny Hendricks by decision in February this year. So he's on the chopping block here.
Nah, he'll stay. They ain't trying to get rid of him.
Even if he loses?
Yeah, they won't get rid of him.
All right. Well, fair enough. But Anthony Smith's not a fucking pushover, dude. That kid's got a lot of fucking experience.
I agree. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing Luke Sanders come back as well, though, after his last loss, because he was looking like he was going to be a prospect as well at featherweight.
Luke Sanders, yeah, cool hand Luke, man. He fucking first of all, slick nickname, by the way. But he was winning the last fight, right? And then he fucked up, if I remember correctly.
And then obviously there's Uriah Hall against Jotko, which I'm going to go with Jotko because Uriah Hall is the most infamous, flop in UFC history. Yeah,
he makes it fucking near impossible to pick him. He really does. Sorry. Alcantara kneebarred Luke Sanders at UFC 209.
I'm going to go. Where's the other one? I think that as well. That that Justin, is it Ledet? He's also as well 8-0. Looking like a bit.
He's 8-0, and he's fighting against a guy that looks like he just got like a nice old liposuction, right?
He genuinely looks like Michael J. White. If Michael J. White got really, really old, really, really quickly, that's what he'd look like.
Really, really fat.
Yeah.
Blanco, that's right. He's a Texan. He's a Houston guy. He's got 2 fights in the UFC. He beat Chase Sherman by decision, and he rear naked choked over Mark Godbeer, which, by the way, everyone wants to fight Mark Godbeer for some reason. But he's all right. He's not old. He's pretty young, I think. I don't know how old. He's like in his 20s, I'm pretty sure. But Azuna Anyanwu, I think, is a newcomer. But he was on that Dana White Contender Series thing, so
he's only 20.
That's why he's here.
Justin.
Yeah. Azuna's 36, it looks like.
So he's been brought in to get walked over.
Yeah, he's basically brought in to get fucked up, unfortunately. All right, other fight on here. Aubin Mercier is making his fucking return against Tony Martin. Everyone thinks Aubin's going to fuck him up. It's not an easy fight. I don't care what anyone says.
But he should get the W in theory.
He should get the W, but it won't be like what most people are thinking he's going to starch this cat. Tony Martin's fucking legit, man. He looks like a fucking 12-year-old with like how little tiny little young face he's got, but he's been in the UFC for fucking ever. So, you got to give him a chance. But yeah, Mercier should win this shit pretty in a finish. In fact,
how about Usman? By the way, powerful Usman.
Don't care.
Yo,
get that boring ass shit out of here. He'll win, but get that boring ass out of here.
I don't mind Usman. I think he's a monster.
No, he's a monster, but he's just gonna hug you to death.
Didn't he starch his last 2 people who he fought against?
They didn't move that up. I might be thinking of somebody else.
I'm thinking you're being uber disrespectful to my boy.
I'll be disrespectful. I don't give a fuck.
I'm sure that he knocked out. Yeah, he knocked out Alves at the Bader Nogueira second fight, and then I'm sure he knocked out Sean Strickland as well at UFC.
Nah, dude, I got his record right here. Haider Hassan at the Ultimate Fighter 21 finale by submission, the arm triangle choke. But then decision. So he's got all kinds of decisions, dude.
Who am I thinking of there?
I don't know. Someone more exciting?
Yo, I'm sure that there was another like jacked African dude and not Francis Ngannou.
No, it's you're thinking about he used to come so 25-8.
No, not that 25-8 dude.
Overtime. Yeah, Corey Anderson. You're thinking Corey Anderson.
Nah, he's American. I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah, but he's the same type of guy. Just wrestle.
African though.
I'm
talking about an African dude that was like who recently has been fighting this over this past 6 months. Has been knocking folk out.
Francis Ngannou is the only I could think of.
I'm gonna figure that out. But he's French.
All right.
Fuck it. But with that same thing, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. This will be up on your iTunes. This will be up on the SoundCloud, so make sure you subscribe. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you leave a like as well. Additional to that, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Heel Hook Show. We'll be doing some more content as well later on this week, probably on the Friday, maybe Saturday. That'll be probably just me because Eddie's going to. Did you say you're going to San Diego?
San Diego. I'm gonna. Oh, I can't fucking wait. Fucking beach, women, jiu-jitsu, mostly jiu-jitsu. But you know how it goes.
Hashtag rolling with boys.
Yeah, you wish.
I forgot what I was going to say. Make sure you check out the sponsors as well. Make sure you check out Bane. Bane is a jiu-jitsu and athletic apparel. They do an array of different kind of cool little quirky artworks that are all jiu-jitsu inspired. So you can check their Ezekiel stuff out. You can check out the new Flesh and Bones stuff that they do. They've got an array of different spats, rash guards, hoodies. So make sure you check them out at bainstore.com. That's BAIN store.com. Also, make sure that you use the code word the heel hook. You sell 10% off your entire order. Also, make sure that you check out our other sponsor, Receptra. Receptra, a hemp extract CBD oil tropical company. They do all this stuff naturally. It's all grown on a farm in Colorado.
It's all the good shit. Get yourself some of that good shit.
It's got like 0.01% THC as well, so you don't have to worry about getting high. The stigma and all that kind of stuff is bullshit. You won't get high off of it. You'd literally have to drink the whole bottle. And in fairness, I'd be more concerned about shitting my pants than by having that much oil in my body. But yeah, make sure you check out the Tropica. Make sure you check out the oil as well. They're great for inflammation. So if you train, if you just have wear and tear from everyday life, it's brilliant for healing your body up. Also, it can help with your focus. It also can help with other array of different illnesses. I can't implore you more to go and check out and just Google CBD oil and its benefits. So please just go and check that out. Then head over to receptranaturals.com. That's RECEPTRA naturals.com if you're in the States. And then if you're in Europe / United Kingdom, if you want to be awkward, then you just go to Receptra Globals, which is RECEPTRA global.com, and use the code word the heel hook and get yourself 10% off. Eddie, where can they catch you?
You could also take our sponsor, our future sponsor, some coffee company, because we need fucking coffee. Like, if any coffee companies want to sponsor us, hit us up. We're both fucking dying right now.
Yeah, because it's like midnight over here in the UK. I'm just like, yo, shout out with the fucking what's it called? Bullet Coffee. Bullet Coffee, where you at? Like,
where you at? Where you at, motherfuckers? Where you at, Bullet? No, I mean, you can find me at Elot31 on Twitter, Elot52 on Snapchat, and of course, Crossbones MMA podcast is crossbonesmma.com, and of course on iTunes as well. Please subscribe. We actually got quite a few subscribers on there, so appreciate you guys listening in for that. And of course, represent crossbonesmma.com. Get yourself some gear, and shout out to Liam for hanging out the entire show, man. Good show, my friend.
I was gonna say you're
good showing, sir. Appreciate it.
I was gonna say stay true, man. Stay true. Yeah, you can also find me on Snapchat, just Ash Official, and you can also find me on Twitter at Ash Lamprey. That's ASHLEYLAMPREY. All of our links as well are also in the bio. So if you can't remember this bullshit because we talk too quick, then just head up in the description. You'll be able to find the links to all the stuff. Shout out to Genesis Elijah as well. He did the intro for our mini episode. So whenever you hear the cool British dude, that's Genesis Elijah. His SoundCloud and his Twitter will be in the bio. But both of them are Genesis Elijah, which is ELIJAH. So yeah. With that same thing said, thank you all for tuning in. And make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't already. This has been the Heel Hook from myself and Eddie. Peace up. A-Town down.